Hello class, I'll be discussing critical thinking and reading in this video. Before we can even start to write, there's one area that we need to express: thinking. Even more so, critical thinking. When you are thinking, it could be anything from, when is this lecture going to be over, to, I cannot wait for this weekend to start. So your mind begins to drift into your own world. So now, let's add critical to thinking. Then our mind has to make choices. If I finish this lecture, then it'll be one more step to this weekend. So let me finish this lecture. So it's important to know what the definition of critic is. The first being one who expresses a reasoned opinion for any matter, especially involving a judgment of its value, truth, righteousness, beauty, or technique. Or it is one who engaged, often professionally, in the analysis, evaluation, or appreciation of works of art or artistic performance. Lastly, it is one given to harsh or capricious judgment. We don't want to think this is a negative term for critical thinking. In college, you want to be open-minded, be aware of biases, and form logical evidence of what you read and write. To be a successful critical thinker, one must question others' beliefs and assumptions, and more importantly, your own belief and assumptions. As you work through your writing, you become aware of the issues, evidence, and problems beyond what your established pre-conclusion. So one area you want to look at with your critical thinking as you start to move along is clustering. As you see right here, this is an idea where you have the topic in the middle and you're reading an essay, and you want to think of all the ideas that the essay is bringing forth and the ideas that you have about that essay. This is where you can start to apply your clustering effect. So take a look at page 4 in your textbook about the issues of gay marriage licenses. And as you can see on page 6, the textbook has a proper way of showing the cluster, starting with the law overrides individual religious freedoms. Going to the second, not always, the law can't tell people what to believe and how to practice religion. Then look at number 10, impeachment, complicated, not a long-term solution. So this goes all the way down to 14. Why is the country clerkship an elected position after all? If it were an appointed position, it would be clear. Davis could be removed from office and not uphold her oath to execute the law. So as you can see, this goes in many different directions, but as it goes further along, it becomes more critical in the thinking. Now don't worry if some of your ideas seem a bit outlandish or crazy. You're just writing ideas, generating ideas, so you can go back and look at it later and then look with a more critical eye. So once you've finally started fleshing out ideas from the article or articles you're reading, you want to get to the heart of critical thinking. And this is a willingness to face objections to one's own beliefs. So you want to be skeptical. You want to be able to find that gray area. So especially if you're taking a stand on a policy, a regulation, a law of a sort, you have to ask some of these questions. Is it fair? What's its purpose? What is it going to accomplish? The effects, harm, and who is the harm going to be to? And who gains something and who loses something as a result? And is there any compromises that might satisfy different parties? So with any kind of critical thinking, there are subjects you probably want to avoid. Think about these various ideas. Is the topic going to be too controversial and you won't be able to resolve it? Does it actually hit too close to home for you? Does it anger you too much? Can you not take yourself out of the narrative? So there's 3 ways to narrow down your topic. Remember them as SAE: survey, analyze, and evaluate. So survey is considering as many perspectives as possible, whereas analyze is identifying, then separating out the parts of the problem and trying to see how it all fits together. And evaluate is judging the merit of various ideas and claims and the weight of the evidence in their favor or against them. So this is what you want to do while you're thinking of your topic and thinking of what you're reading. So as we look ahead, one thing we need to think about is generating those ideas and taking it further beyond the brainstorming exercises. So in the next lecture, it'll be generating ideas, writing as way of thinking.